After taking Hollywood by storm as a child, a rising star in the entertainment industry is gearing up to make a splash here in DC at Arena Stage. Joining us here in studio, the star of Data, Karan Brar, along with the playwright, Matthew Libby. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Okay, so excited. Okay, so you're making your theatrical debut here in DC, the nation's capital. We were just talking about New York, LA, but now you're in DC. I think it's the best of all three, but that's just me talking. But talk to us a little bit about Data and what audiences can expect.
Yeah, so Matthew Libby's original play, Data, is a Silicon Valley thriller centered around my character, Manish Singh, who is this brilliant entry-level programmer at a data software company. He gets a promotion to work on this top-secret government contract, and he's kind of forced to confront the societal and personal costs of his talents.
So, Matthew, what is the message that you were trying to drive home? I mean, I feel like everyone knows someone who works in tech, in Silicon Valley, right? We all have that friend, but what is the message behind this?
Hopefully it is a kind of peek behind the curtain. This is a very powerful industry that that dominates so much of our lives, but a lot of it stays pretty hidden. And I think a lot of people, scroll past the terms and conditions and just click accept. The kind of black box of the industry is something that I think we can learn a lot about the way that power works in today's world by looking at Silicon Valley and looking at the kind of young people within Silicon Valley, especially like Karan's character and like some of the other characters in our play, these kind of 20-somethings who are the ones actually implementing a lot of these massive technological shifts and technologies that kind of power our world today. Yeah,
and just the way we communicate and do everything, right?
100%.
Yeah. So Karan, I read online it was your father who kind of suggested that you, step into acting. Now you're taking on this lead role. How special is this for you to be doing?
It's really exciting. My dad did theater when he was in India, and then my dad was like, I did theater, do you want to just try an acting class? And what's funny is I had never touched the stage up until this point. I'd never done, community theater. I was very lucky and, got to work in film and television. And so it's been really surreal, like hearing the stories about what theater is like and actually being here now and challenging myself with this new medium.
Matthew, what is so special for you about debuting this here in DC at Arena Stage? I mean, you talk about some of the themes of power, in the production, and DC is obviously a pretty powerful city as well.
Well, and just the audiences here are so smart, know? The crux of the plot of the play surrounds this government contract, that the specifics of which I will leave as a surprise for the audience.
Okay.
But I think it's safe to say that some people who work in this sector will probably come see the show. And I think there's really no better place to be discussing these questions of the way that technology, power, and morality and ethics intersect, especially in DC, especially right now, because a lot of these topics are going to be, unfortunately, very relevant for probably some time, I imagine, especially as AI continues to grow.
Oh, I don't doubt it. And if you don't live in DC, if you don't know someone who works in consulting and does government contracts. We all know 10 people who do government contracts. And then, so Karan, just lastly for you, I mean, a lot of our viewers, maybe they're young people, may know you from your Disney Channel days, but how have you seen yourself grow as an actor over the course of your career?
It's been so fun and so challenging. I think what I always come back to is starting in this industry at a very young age. I think the first question people always ask is, do you like what you do? Like, do you still want to keep doing what you're doing? And I keep coming back to yes, because I find acting to be such a challenge. You don't get to just learn it once in a class and then you know how to do the rest of it. It's a muscle that you're constantly flexing and stretching, and you will work in TV sometimes in comedy and do really big comedy, and then you'll go to a drama and you're like, oh, okay, I maybe need to do a little bit less. And it's been fun to go into theater and being like, it can still be dramatic, but also I have to make sure that the person in the last row can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, they're like, why is he just standing there?
Oh, looking forward to seeing this. Matthew, Karan, thank you so much for coming in. You can see Data at Arena Stage. It runs through December 15th. Buy your tickets online or at the box office.